So hello everyone and welcome to Sports Today. There's a bit of a breaking news that we are getting in. The BCCI has announced the India A squad for the two matches that the India A team is going to play against the Australia A team, but just before the Border Gavaskar Trophy actually starts. I'll just take you through the team first before we get into the details of it. It's going to be Ruturaj Gaikwad who's going to be leading the side for this India A series. Abhimanyu Iswaran is going to be the vice captain. We have seen him be the part of the leadership group as far as the India A team is concerned. Then there will also be Sai Sudarshan, somebody who has been scoring runs since the last domestic season, and in this domestic season also recently scored a double century against the Delhi side. Then there will be Nitish Kumar Reddy will be featuring in this side as far as the fast bowling all-rounder is concerned. Currently is with the India squad for the New Zealand series as a travelling reserve. Then there will be Devdutt Padikkal, Ricky Bhui, Baba Inderjeet, Ishan Kishan. It's really interesting to see that Ishan Kishan has made a comeback in the India A side. These are good signs for Ishan Kishan. There is going to be Abhishek Porel, who is going to be the backup wicketkeeper in this squad. Mukesh Kumar, after a good performance in the Irani Cup at this point, playing for the in the Ranji Trophy, also was part of the Indian team previously. Then was ignored. Khalil Ahmed comes into that side. Yash Dayal is going to be part of that team too. Navdeep Saini also comes back for the India side. As far as spinners are concerned, it's going to be Manav Suthar and Tanush Kotian, two people who have been performing consistently as far as the domestic season is concerned. But the big things that are to be taken away from this series is that Ruturaj Gaikwad will be leading the side, and so is Ishan Kishan has made his comeback. It's going to be interesting to see that the T20 series that the Indian team will be playing in South Africa. So will Ruturaj Gaikwad and Ishan Kishan would not be available for that? That looks highly unlikely, because the first test match that India A is going to play against Australia A is going to start from the 31st of October, and the second test match is going to be from the 7th of November. These are the two test matches that the India A team will be playing, one in Melbourne and one in Mackay. And the third test match that the Indian team will be playing would be in Perth. But that test match is not going to be against the Australia A side. That test match is going to be between the India A side and the India team that is going to be playing the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Perth just before the beginning of the series. The main points that are to be taken, it's Ruturaj Gaikwad leading. I'll just take you through the side once again. There are questions about Abhimanyu Iswaran also. Abhimanyu Iswaran is going to be the vice captain as far as this series is concerned, and this is going to be a really important two matches for the India side, because the players who perform, the Indian team is already looking for backup opening options. So Ruturaj Gaikwad is one name that has been doing the rounds. Abhimanyu Iswaran is somebody who could actually be that backup opening option. Sai Sudarshan is in tremendous form. He could be somebody who could fill in that backup opener spot. It's also interesting to see Nitish Kumar Reddy. Maybe the team is now looking at Nitish Kumar Reddy as a backup fast bowling, not a backup, but a fast bowling all-rounder if need be in the Australian conditions. When you have seen Shardul Thakur fill in that role of a bowler who can bat, maybe it could be Nitish Kumar Reddy who could be that option who could fill in the shoes for Shardul Thakur. No name of Shreyas Iyer as far as Shreyas Iyer is concerned in the side. That is going to be really not great news for Shreyas Iyer, because recently just got a century in this round of the Ranji Trophy and now not being part of the India A squad. So do you think that it's the end of the road as far as Shreyas Iyer is concerned as of now?
What this tells me, Sarshwat, is if Shreyas Iyer doesn't make it to the India A squad, the one thing I definitely learned from that is that the road has definitely gotten longer for him, because you look at some of the other names that have made a comeback, and there's one name that strikes to me, that is of Ishan Kishan. If an Ishan Kishan has been included, why not a Shreyas Iyer? Shreyas Iyer did score a century, as we talked about today only. I think he got that century. But you look at some of the others, Abhimanyu Iswaran's been included, some of the others who performed well in domestic have been rewarded. But for Shreyas Iyer, maybe there is more work that needs to be done. And that I clearly look as a big message. I do remember reading his thoughts as well. And he said that people can say whatever that they have to, and he is very determined to make a comeback. Test cricket is very close to him. But the message from the selectors is clear. The road is actually longer than maybe Shreyas also thought for himself. But I do want to talk about Ishan Kishan over here, because him and Shreyas both were sent out from the team on the same note, because of very much the same reasons, yes, Ishan had pointed out his reasons were different, let's say. His was more to do with the mental aspect of things, but we know he was asked to prove his mental fitness. He was asked to play domestic, and it's been months and months now that Ishan Kishan hasn't been able to make his way back into the Indian team. This now is a new lease of life for Ishan Kishan. He's had to work hard. You look at his scores as well. He too got a century. Today was a day where you saw several Indian players score century. In the second round of Ranji, I think he scored a century while batting against the Railways. He got a century. In fact, in the Duleep Trophy as well, I remember him scoring a century. So last 5 matches, you see Ishan Kishan has scored 2 centuries. And that tells you another thing, that the message that came from right from Ajit Agarkar and Gautam Gambhir, that you cannot be escaping domestic cricket. You have to prioritize domestic cricket. So those who've really performed and players like Ishan Kishan were told to then focus on domestic cricket. That if you are firstly prioritizing domestic cricket, if you are then delivering in domestic cricket, you will then be suitably rewarded. And that's what I see happening in the case of Ishan Kishan. Shreyas Iyer, work to be done. That's what I learned.
But something really interesting that I take out from this side is also that now Ruturaj, Gaikwad and Ishan Kishan, these are the 2 players who are not going to be part of the South Africa T20I series, where they could have been definite starters.
Because there's an overlap,
yeah,
right?
because there's an overlap. Also, I feel a very big reason for not having Mayank Yadav and Harshit Rana, who have been with the T20I squad previously also, and with the test team also, they are travelling at this point. They are not part of this India squad, I feel, because they might be needed in South Africa as far as the T20I series is concerned. Maybe the team is now looking at Mayank Yadav and Harshit Rana more towards the white ball format. As far as the BGT is concerned, maybe it's just going to be Yash Dayal, Navdeep Saini, Khalil Ahmed as your backup fast bowlers. Yeah, definitely Harshit Rana and Mayank Yadav can be flown in at any time, but in the pecking order, it's definitely Khalil, Yash Dayal, Navdeep Saini who are ahead of that. Apart from that, Ricky Bhoi, Baba Inderjeet, you have Abhishek Porel, Mukesh Kumar. All of these players have been rewarded for what they did in the previous Ranji Trophy cycle, because this Ranji Trophy cycle is still really it has just begun. It's just been 2 games as of now. So it's, and lots of comments are also coming about the fact that it's going to be a straight shootout between Ruturaj and Abhimanyu Iswaran if Rohit Sharma ends up missing the first test of that Border Gavaskar Trophy. But another name that I would want to throw in is of Sai Sudarshan, who is again in great form. But all of this will depend at who would be opening for India. Is it going to be Ruturaj and Abhimanyu Iswaran, or do you would be going with Sai Sudarshan?
See, I think this is again something you will be taking a call on in a few weeks time, once it becomes clear. Firstly, it's speculation right now that Rohit Sharma will be missing the first test match. So once that becomes clear, then you're looking for names. Abhimanyu Iswaran, again, for years and years now, he's padded up enough runs, he's got enough runs under his belt. I'm just looking at options. I don't think this Indian team will be looking at pushing your number 3 batter in Shubman Gill to open. I think you don't want to be doing that again. Very recently, the experiment of Virat Kohli batting at number 3 didn't work out. So I'm ruling out that possibility, number 1. Do we see a debutant in that case? Do we see a new name or do we see a recall? That is going to be very interesting. The fact that there is leadership now that you're looking at with regards to Gaikwad, I think that always will hold him in good stead. What that tells you is, because he was leading one of the Duleep Trophy sides as well, he's led in the past as well. I think Zimbabwe also he was leading. So the fact that he fits into that leadership bracket, he fits into that longer scheme of things that you have as far as Indian cricket is concerned, because he fits into that, but he is already the captain of an IPL franchise. Maybe those things add up when you're looking at number by number comparison. If the numbers aren't really as skewed, if they're, let's say, 50-50, and again I'll have to just look up what the numbers look like for the 2 of them in this very season. I think overall Abhimanyu Iswaran will be miles ahead. But if it's a 50-50 call, this is where, or even if it's a 50-45, and it's unfortunate then for Iswaran, but I think because you have that leadership role in mind for Ruturaj Gaikwad, I think this is where it gives him the edge.
Definitely, it has given. Interesting that you point out this Abhimanyu, Ruturaj Gaikwad leading the side. It was still now. It was Abhimanyu Iswaran who was leading the India side. This time it's Ruturaj Gaikwad and Abhimanyu Iswaran. It sort of seems that even if the Indian team needs a backup opener, I think it's going to be Ruturaj Gaikwad who is ahead in the pecking order. Many people are pointing out he has gotten a 145 not out also for Maharashtra in the latest Ranji Trophy game. So yeah, definitely he's somebody who would be really close to that Indian team. He would be knocking on the doors. He would just need two good innings for the India side that is starting later this month. So it's going to be really interesting to see that if there is no Rohit Sharma, how is it going to be? And as far as Nitish Kumar Reddy is concerned, what are your takes on him? Do you think that he could be filling in the shoes of a Shardul Thakur? Maybe he could be that fourth fast bowling option. Yeah, fourth fast. The role that Shardul Thakur was filling in till now overseas, it could be Nitish Kumar Reddy this time. Seeing how he does in Australia for the India side.
I have my doubts if you're looking at Nitish Reddy for the BGT. I have my doubts because I think life's moving too fast for Nitish Reddy at the moment. Yes, he very recently made his international debut, but red ball cricket is a whole different ball game. It worked out well. You did give out a few, debuts last time around, and those were debuts out of desperation that the Indian team had to give. You had no option but to throw in your youngsters because match after match you're losing players in Australia, and that's not to say that things are going to be the same this time around. But that give me enough confidence because it worked out well for me the previous time that I again will be looking at making multiple debuts. I think, which is where I think that Mayank and Nitish Kumar Reddy, both of them, I don't. Maybe they could be traveling as reserves, and that'll be best that I see for the two of them. But do I see them playing in the BGT? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's going to be too much for Nitish Reddy at the moment. The ask is going to be too big in international cricket.
Yeah, I think it's still a long. We have a good amount of time to take that call. Even the Indian team would be having that. Because they would be they will be seeing him for the two domestic games also the two India A games. A lot will depend on that as
Murli Krishna says Nitish will be debuting. Okay, so we will wait and see how that works out. Sri is extremely happy. He says Rutu ka Raj. Yes, things are going well for him. Priyanshu says I feel BCCI sees Ruturaj as long term test opener post Rohit. Do you guys also think? Well,
Yeah,
I think we
definitely,
answered that. I think we answered that, Priyanshu, if you've been along with us in this
lots
chat.
of people pointing out the
Baba Indrajit is there. Pankaj Kumar Yadav asking if Baba Indrajit is there. Yes, he too ends up finding himself in that squad that's been named by the BCCI. For now, Sashwat and I will be taking your leave, but you know what you have to do. If you're just as nutty as we are with regards to cricket, with regards to sport, tap that bell, subscribe if you haven't already. Allow us to leave right now, but we'll catch you very soon. Bye-bye.